Hi everybody, I hope that you're all doing really well. So today I am filming my very first video in my new room, in my new house, because I have become an adult. I have moved out of my family home. I am now living in Oxford in order to start my new job. I say it's a new job, I am now 6 weeks into this job, but it's new to me. So yeah, I haven't quite finalised what I'm doing in terms of like the filming setup. This seems like quite a nice spot to film. Obviously I do not have my beloved bookcases as I had in my family home. We're very, very sad about this. But there are a few shelves here and there where I can put books, and I have brought my book trolley. You can maybe see over here I've got a few shelves that I can put some books on. One of the things I'm a little bit anxious of is that my room faces the main road, and so I am pretty sure because of my new camera, I've also got a new iPhone that I'm filming on, and the microphone quality is a lot better, which means I'm pretty sure that you are going to be hearing all of the traffic behind me, and I do not know of a way of fixing that, so I'm really, really sorry. But today I have the house to myself and I'm just currently filming on my lunch break, so I thought I would take this time to film my birthday book haul. My birthday was the week before I ended up moving out, and I was so incredibly lucky to receive some really fantastic gifts from people, and I'm so grateful. I cannot believe that people would be so nice as to send me books. I don't really feel deserving, so thank you so much. And they are all on my little book trolley, so I'm gonna have to bring that to me so that I can see them. I'm not really doing this in any sort of order, so let's get into these books. Firstly, a book that I got from my sister for my birthday was this little thing, The Little People Big Dreams book on Audrey Hepburn. This is a children's picture book series which basically recounts the lives of different famous people. And yeah, this one is all about the life of Audrey Hepburn, and I will say this one focuses much less on her acting career, much more on her humanitarian efforts, which I think is really nice, and it's just so pretty. So of course I gobbled this up straight away because I'm a massive fan of Audrey Hepburn, so thank you, Steph. Another illustrated book that I got that I was very grateful to receive was this, Quiet Girl in a Noisy World, an Introvert Story by Debbie Tung. Now I had previously read Book Love by Debbie Tung and absolutely adored that, so I was so grateful to receive this, and I got this from Melina over at Melina Reads. I was so surprised that she sent me something. Thank you so much. And once again, of course, I've read this straight away because I don't know if you can tell, but I am an introvert myself, so I felt like this was very, very relatable to me, especially these images about phone fear. I then received not one but two books from Shah over at Thoroughly Enjoyed Books. She sent me Off the Shelf, a celebration of bookshops in verse, which is edited by Caroline Duffy. And this kind of does what it says on the tin. It is a collection of poems written by different poets about bookshops. I do love a good book about bookshops, as you will probably see from some of these other presents that I've been sent. And I know Shah is currently writing her own poetry, so I think she was quite keen to send me some poetry herself. And she also sent me The Reader on the 627 by Jean-Paul Laurent. It's a French name. As we've established from my Les Mis vlogs, I can't speak French, so I let the funky music do the talking. This is a translated fiction that I'd heard about over at Lena Norm's channel, and it's all about a man who works at a book pulping factory where publishers basically destroy the books that they don't think they're going to sell, which is really, really sad, and I don't want to even think about it. But the main character is really upset by this, and every day he steals a few pages from the pile. In an attempt to preserve these words, he reads them out to the people on the metro. I just thought that was a really cute story, so I'm very excited to read this. And thank you, Shah, for both of those. Next, Anna from Read to Me at Midnight sent me Pandora's Jar, Women in the Greek Myths by Natalie Haynes, which is a funny one because I'm pretty sure me mentioning this in one of my videos was what sparked Anna to pick this up. So she was kind of like, how do you not have this already? Which I can't really explain why I've not picked this up yet, but I'm very grateful to you, Anna, for sending it my way. Once again, does what it says on the tin. It is about the women that make up the Greek myths who are often ignored. I previously read 1,000 Ships by Natalie Haynes and absolutely adored that. That was the Trojan War told from the perspective of the women. I often hear Natalie Haynes talk on podcast episodes, and I know she's a brilliant writer and speaker, and yeah, so keen to read this. I'm just kind of going from the way that my trolley is arranged, and we have now hit upon the first of a couple of books that I treated myself to, because you only turn 26 once. And this book was actually inspired by a purchase from Leanne over at Leanne Rose, which is Strange Antics, A History of Seduction by Clement Knox. And I'm really worried now that YouTube is going to get angry with me for all the boobs on the cover. But it's Venus, so they shouldn't do that. But yeah, this is all about a history of seduction, which is the first of a few books that are kind of like this, which are kind of the history of sexuality, history of sex, that kind of thing. I am really, really into this topic because I did my third year module on the history of sexuality and it was my favourite module that I took. So it's something I really wanted to get back into, and I've been discussing quite a lot with my booktube group chat that I would love to do like a sexy history books read along where we just read a bunch of non-fiction history that's to do with the history of sexuality and the ways that our attitudes and our depictions of sexuality have changed over time. I just find it really interesting and I thought this cover was stunning, so I had to have it. The next book to show you is a gift from Sylvie at the TBR Diaries. She sent me The Light Ages, A Medieval Journey of Discovery by Seb Falk. This was another book that I actually mentioned in my 2021 TBR video of one that I was really keen to get to this year. I also went on a little bit of a rant on the term the Dark Ages and why I hate that term, and I'm not going to do it again, but just maybe go see that video and you'll see me have that rant. This is basically about science in the medieval period and the scientific advancements that took place during that time, because a lot of people seem to have this idea that the medieval time was not a time of scientific advancement, and it is not true, and no rants today. The next book was sent to me from Aoife over at Pretty Purple Polka Dots, and that was Dear Reader, The Comfort and Joy of Books by Kathy Rensenbrink. Look how stunning this cover is. Like, I could just stare at that all day. I saw this book doing the rounds on a couple of channels a few months ago and was so keen to pick this up. This is basically Kathy Rensenbrink's memoir of reading and how reading and books have often been there for her during difficult times. Again, I love a good book about books. I love a book about why reading is super important, so I am so keen to read this. Next we have The Pocket, A Hidden History of Women's Lives by Barbara Berman and Ariane Veneto. And this was sent over from Caris over at Caris's Corner. This book is academic non-fiction history and it is all about the pocket, particularly the pocket as it appeared in women's clothing in the 18th and 19th century, and how it often functioned as a very private place for women, one that they didn't really get. I really don't feel like I'm doing this book justice at all, but I'm really, really excited to read this. I'm getting slowly more into dress history, so I'm really, really excited to read this. And then the other two books that I picked up for myself are next to each other, so I'll just do them back to back. We have Black and British, A Forgotten History by David Olusoga. This is a book that I've been meaning to read for, no joke, almost 4 years now. I heard about it when it just came out in 2017 when I was doing work experience. The marketing manager at this publisher basically came in and was like, I've just been reading this new great book. It's called Black and British. Have you heard of it? You all need to read it. And I was like, yes, I will definitely pick that up. And it's been 3.5 years later and we are only just here. But I'm remedying it now. I think partially because it is a big chunky history. It has been the thing that's put me off it. But I've heard such amazing things from multiple people now that it's just driven up the excitement for this more and more. This, I believe, chronicles the experience of being Black in Britain from the Roman period up to today, an important history that is often neglected in traditional scholarship. I think this is going to be a really important, really impactful read, so I am very, very keen to read this. I need to stop saying I'm very keen to read this, but I am very keen to read this. Like, yeah. And then the second of my sex history books is A Curious History of Sex by Kate Lister, now in this gorgeous paperback. And I mean, look at this cover. What you doing? This came out in hardback last year, but it was this gigantic hardback and I was just like, I am not looking that around in my bag. No, no, no. Whereas this feels a lot more manageable, and also it's yellow. Like, look at how bright and happy this is. Dr. Kate Lister is a very well-known sex history scholar, and this basically takes you from like ancient Greece and Rome all the way up to today, so I'm really excited to read this. Next up we have The 7 Kinds of People You Find in Bookshops by Sean Blythell. Sean Blythell is probably best known for his book The Diary of the Bookseller, which basically recounted his experience for 1 year working as a bookseller in Wigtown. And this is just a short little thing, but does as it says on the tin. Once again, how many times can I say that? About the 7 different kinds of people that you can meet in bookshops. He has a very dry, witty personality, so I feel like that's going to come through definitely in here. And a massive thank you to Shannon from 155 Books for sending this my way. Before I forget, I had to nip over to my nightstand to pick up this chunky boy, which is That Glimpse of Truth, 100 of the Finest Short Stories Ever Written, chosen by David Miller. I've got this by my nightstand because I'm wanting to read at least 1 or 2 of these short stories every night, and this was sent to me from Rosie over at Sparkles Books. But yeah, I kind of identified last year that I'm not really a big short story reader, and I think a large part of that is because I never really know where to start. So I found this online and I thought, yes, this will be the one. This will be my gateway, my entrance into short stories. And I will say, if you've got any short story recommendations, do leave them in the comment section down below because I'd love to hear from you. And thank you, Rosie, for that book. A very intriguing little book that I was sent that I'd never heard of before was The Juniper Tree by Barbara Commons, and this was sent sent to me by Kieran over at KD Books and caused a little bit of a stir during my birthday live show, because I don't really know the story of the juniper tree. This, for those of you who don't know, is adapted from fairy tales. And I do believe from what people were saying, this is about a mother who ends up cooking her son into a pie. And we basically just went down a rabbit hole of different stories which have involved like baking children into pies and cannibalism, and we're like, why was this such a thing? Kieran coined the term #Piegate. It was a whole debacle. But yeah, I've never heard of this before. I don't know anything about it, so I am so interested in what this little twisted book is all about, Kieran. What have you sent me? And then I think that is it for the books that I was sent for my birthday, but I also wanted to highlight a couple of non-birthday book gifts that I received a couple of weeks ago. Because I have such lovely, lovely friends, and they sent me books to say well done on getting my new job, and I was just like, you guys! Seriously, I am not worthy of having such lovely friends. So first off, my lovely friend Rachel, who I don't know if she is like kickstarting a booktube channel or not, but she has posted her first wrap-up video, so I'm gonna link it down below, sent me Catherine Parr, Wife, Widow, Mother, Survivor, The Story of the Last Queen of Henry VIII, which is written by Elizabeth Norton. And I know Rachel sent this to me because Catherine Parr is her favourite of the 6 queens. As you probably know, I'm a massive fan of Tudor history, and I am a bit of an Anne Boleyn fangirl, but I know Rachel has been very keen for me to get on the Catherine Parr hype train, so you know, I'm very open to that, because the truth is that I don't know much about Catherine Parr's life, so colour me intrigued. I am going to be very keen to read this. And then Aoife from Pretty Purple Polka Dots also sent me a well done on getting your job present. She sent me this delightful creation, William Shakespeare's The Taming of the Clueless, and this is basically the script for Clueless but Shakespeareanized. I believe that they also did versions of these for all of the Star Wars films and also for Mean Girls, and I need that in my life. And I'm a massive Clueless fan, and also I feel like it works as a bit of a birthday present because Clueless came out the same year that I was born. I am clueless years old. So I am so excited to read this and maybe, you know, scare my housemates a bit by reciting it in front of them. I don't know. So I don't know, do I try and make a pile out of all of those books? Oh. I mean, I'm gonna have to do it for the photo, so I might as well try now. Nope. Oh, I've not done this for a while, and it's harder to do sitting down. So, these are all of the books that I was sent for my birthday. Oh, this is a lot. Yeah, to be honest with you, I do not feel like I am at all worthy of having so much loveliness sent my way. But just know, to everybody who did send me a present this year, I am so incredibly grateful. They have brightened up my room stupendously well. Do let me know if you have read any of these books that I've spoken about today. Do let me know your thoughts on them. Thank you again so much for making my birthday so special, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. Thanks. Bye.